And good afternoon, folks. Warp103 bringing you guys another one. This time here, we're talking about the Chems video again, but this time it's the light tank aspect of it. So sit back, relax, and of course, enjoy the show. I'm not going to tell you this exciting.
I'm gonna have to rain down a godly firestorm on you.
And thank you for viewing this video. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon above, and then of course hitting the bell icon to get notifications when the next video drops. So here we go. Now, recently, Chems made a video argue that all light tanks should have about the same view range, and to make them fair across the board. And on paper, that sounds good. Simple, fair, balanced. But here's the problem. That logic completely breaks in how light tanks work in War of Tanks. Now, let's take Evo 90 and the LT 432 as a prime example. The Evo 90 is by all means the king of stealth scouting. Now, again, let me reiterate, stealth scouting. Insane camo, tiny size, impossible to spot when it's in a bush, but its gun is basically a BB gun taped to a lawnmower, basically. Now, the Evo 90 struggles to pin anything because of its dispersion, and its aim time is long as hell. So you have a real problem there. Now let's look at the 432 compared to the 432. You look at the camo, 4, so slightly less camo, way bigger profile, because you can tell LT is, you can look at it, a way bigger tank, but its DPM is solid, its mobility is good, has armor, and it can actually fight back. Okay, let's cut to the win rate thing. All right. Now, statistically speaking, you can see that the LT win rate is better, and you compare it to who's playing it, you can see that the win rate differential is way better. So you can be the best scout in the world with the ELC, but if your team folds because it can't contribute damage, well, your impact is basically limited. The LT can flank, scout, trade, and in the end, if it's 1 versus 4, it can clutch. Can the Evo 90 do that? Nah. So basically, the LT is more of a complete package. Okay, now Kim's idea assumes that view range is the main balancing factor for lights. So basically, if you look at the view range for these lights and everything else of that, you can see that's not the case, because the EBR has one of the worst view ranges in this whole class. The LT has a better view range than the LT and the Evo 90. But which one of those has the actual best when it comes to scouting? Which one of the best? Oh wait, it's the EBR. And the reason why we can't do this one because it's too fused, but the EBR has the best win rate and even higher win rate differential. When as you go to tier 9, one that has even higher view range has a lesser win rate and does worse. So again, The truth is, light tanks are balanced by trade-offs. Camouflage, firepower, gun handling, size, survivability. Normal view range across the board would flatten out those trade-offs. Now, the EBR being outspotted will basically, if you make everybody view range the same, so that you're gonna nerf the EBR hard, because that's the only thing it really has going for it, is view range and its camouflage. If you boost everybody else's up to that level, then the EBR becomes, well, basically useless. It loses out its edge because, again, it doesn't have any firepower. Meanwhile, something like the LT will just come flat out better than everything else like that, because, again, its camo would have to be represent to what the other ones are. Now, again, I know what someone's going to say. Oh, wait, since it's so big, move the LT to either A, another tier. That's what's someone's going to say. Or B, changing from a light tank to a medium tank. The problem is, if you look at the size of the size of the LT, and you put it against other medium tanks, it's too small. A Blesk is bigger than it. So it's too small, so you can't really just pick randomly and say, okay, well, this one, to make your plan work, let's move this one out of the area so that way it'll make everything better. But then you still want to have tanks that are, basically trash, like the Selma or the LTTB, that is still doing relatively good in spotting, but it has nothing else going for it either. So basically, no, giving up light tanks all the same views won't balance them. It'll erase the diversity in the tanks. The ELC is the best passive scout. This is hands down. But you have other tanks like the 432, that's basically the best light tank. And that's because it impacts the battle more than invisibility or visibility. So basically, let's go back to the original premise of his video. I understand what his reasoning is. I understand that, again, he's trying to make it more fair, to make everything fair across the board when it comes to spotting and to give them a sense of camo. But at that point, you would have to change not only those two characteristics, but you have to change all of the other tanks' gun characteristics to fit that model. And basically, that's just not feasible or possible. So again, I applaud Chems for trying to make this game better. I just disagree with how he's doing the premise. And again, disagreements is good, because some people can take my part of it, some people can his part of it, mesh them together and make a better part of it overall. So this is Warp103. We're gonna say warp out, have fun. We'll catch you guys on the next one.